So a new belt just came out by Snake Eater Tactical, so I just wanted to do a quick video about it. It's called the EDC Belt, which is funny because I just made a video not that long ago about EDC belts, or belts for EDC for guys that carry guns. And a Snake Eater belt was one of my favorites, actually. It's this one, 1.5 inch Cobra. And it's a great belt. Still, I don't know, maybe my favorite. I love the color, the gray color of the belt and the buckle. And this is a previous gen where it still had the Velcro. Now I was using a new system where there is no Velcro that I actually like a little better. So the EDC belt is just this guy right here. So it's different. Main difference is in that it doesn't have a super tactical looking Cobra buckle. This uses a magnetic buckle here. And it's a nice little belt if you're in the market for one. 1.5 inch webbing, and the buckle is about exactly the same size as a Cobra buckle, but just a little more streamlined and not so tactical looking, but still works really well. So it just comes off like that and then goes right back into place. So I'll do some close-up and then talk about it a little bit more. But yeah, actually I'll just do this real quick. So while it's on, holster just clips onto it obviously fine. This is holster. Most of you know by now I make holsters, so it's just one of mine. And the belt. So just comes off, and this actually I think fits through these loops maybe. Yeah, barely, but it won't fit through all loops. But this guy just comes off, and this just has a little flap here with the little keeper that you can or cannot. You can use or you don't have to use. You can just use your regular belt loops if you prefer. So this just comes off just pretty much like and I'll just take this off so you can see it. Just this little keeper. So you don't have to use it, but you can if you want. And then the belt just slides out just like normal. And that's it. All right, so this is it. So this is my probably my favorite belt. This is a gray 1.5 inch Cobra from Snake Eater. It's an awesome belt, and I love gray. So it's I use this belt probably more than anything. But they just released this new belt, which is called the EDC belt, and it's great. It's a great option. Looks a little less tactical than this 1.5 inch Cobra, and then obviously doesn't have a Cobra buckle. But other than that, very similar belt. So this uses a new buckle that just came out that's magnetic and kind of a stealthy, clean design. So if you're into this, which I actually am, then this is a belt that's worth looking into. Same 1.5 inch webbing. This is the zigzag diamond back stitch pattern that I like, that I have a few belts in. And the belt webbing is black and the buckle is black. I believe they only have a black buckle, but the webbing, they have some different colors, gray and stuff. Gray, probably tan, and then black, obviously. So the buckle is about the same dimensions exactly as a Cobra. So if you have a Cobra and it doesn't fit in through your belt loops, then neither will this probably. The height is identical, and the width is pretty much the same as well. So you're not really gaining any advantages as far as buckle size. So I wear a lot of tactical pants, so it's not a huge issue for me. It actually fits through a fair amount of my belt loops. But when it doesn't, you just gotta take the tail out and then loop that through and then put it back in through here. So that's, if you have a Cobra belt, you know all about that. So this will work the same way. And this is the design of their current Cobras, where it just has this hanging loose, no Velcro, which I actually like a lot more. The Velcro kind of gets snagged on stuff when you're trying to pull it through. So I like this, and it has this little elastic keeper like I mentioned before, that you can use or not use, you know. This lines up pretty good with my belt loops on my pants, so I don't really use this much. But yeah, the buckle is really clean, really nice, good looking design, and it uses magnets, so it's cool. I'll show you kind of how it works real quick. So on the back, you see these two magnets here, and they kind of are what line the belt up and keep it in this closed position. So it gives it the strength, and rigidity is obviously not the magnets themselves, but the mechanism at which it locks into place here. The magnets just keep it in place. So from the front, you can see that you push this together and you can come off like that. So you can either do pushing together and kind of a motion where this just goes down and it comes off. Or what I do, which is easy to manipulate one-handed when it's on my pants. I can't really do it one-handed here because the belt moves around, but it's in my pants, it doesn't. So when it's in your pants, you can just move and then twist off the top or off the bottom. So if you're taking it off, you just one-handed, nice and easy. And one-handed closing, depending on how tight your belt is, isn't that hard either, because you really just got to get it close and it lines up and pulls itself closed. So kind of a cool little option here if you're looking for a solid 1.5 inch belt. Now this is touted as an EDC belt, not some kind of gun belt. It's not crazy super rigid like some of the other belts out there. So if you're running OWB with a bunch of stuff hanging off your belt, it may or may not stand up to the rigidness that you need. It's plenty rigid for my needs, so whether it be EDC or range belt, my setup is pretty similar for both. Yeah. Nice looking belt, stealthy design, pretty clean and minimalistic, which I really, really like. So if you're in the market for a gun belt or another belt, or you're looking for another option, this is something that's worth looking into. I'll go ahead and put a link to it. It'll be out, I think. This was kind of like an early release prototype that I managed to get my hands on, which is sweet, but he's there for sale right now. So I'll put a link to it down in the description. And then I know probably I'll get more comments about this than anything else about sizing. So if you have a question about sizing, I'd reach out to them direct. I think they have a video about it too. Maybe I'll link to down here somewhere. But you're gonna wanna put on your belt, put on whatever gear that you're gonna have inside your pants as well, and then measure around. So you're basically measuring the actual distance that the belt will need to stretch. So if you are a 32-inch waist, then you're probably gonna wanna order a 34 or a 35-inch belt, depending on how big your gun is and what other stuff you keep IWB. And yeah, great option if you're looking for it. And yeah, I'll probably be trying to put out a couple of more of these kind of quick hit videos. They're easier for me to make, and I can kind of keep content coming. And there's a lot of cool things out there that I'd like to make little videos about. This is one of them. So if you like belts like I do, then this is one worth looking into. All right, thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. Man, my hands look really white, but it's because I set the exposure for this black belt. So that way when my hands came in, the belt wouldn't disappear. So my hands aren't really this white, if you're wondering. They're actually normal tanness. And all right, take care.